crescent. Oh, what a beautiful sky. Yeah, this is where hyena were busy. Sleeping, rolling, lying down. Looks quite recent actually, looks very recent. Gone. Just behind some cloud at the moment, the moon. Well now, there are big leopard tracks here, so I think we're going the wrong way. We'll have to maybe think about doing the hyena den in a little while. This is huge, looks like a big male leopard. Tracks are in the road. Can you just quickly stop and look at that moon for you? We're going to turn around. No, it's behind that patch of cloud. Not going to work. So, hyena tracks. Going over Monarch Manor. Oh, schön. How are you? Go, enjoy. Wat wil je nog koos?
Ja, hier.
Yeah.
Ja,
Oh, okay. From Makole?
ja,
I was gonna do that. I'll let you do that then.
okay.
Call me when you finish. Okay. Bye. Okay, Henry's going. So evidently this leopard, I didn't see it coming out of camp. Went down to the dam. Well, let's go down to the dam then. We'll go and have a look at what's happening down at the dam. Let's go this way. No, let's go that way. No, let's go this way. I've got a good idea. Let's go that way. Make up your mind, Ma. Well, that's what it's all about. And that's what it's all about. Did I say it's a beautiful sky this morning? Yeah, I think I did. Well, I'll just remind you, it's a beautiful sky this morning. As they say in the classics, red sky in the morning. Game ranger's warning. Or sailor. Or shepherd. Or milkman. Or something. Whoever you are, whatever you are. I don't think it works for bankers though. Came back again. And that lion must have been from the two females 2 nights ago. Lots and lots and lots of hyena tracks. Yeah. Ephraim coming? Which way did you go? Which way did you go this morning? Never mind. This leopard is everywhere. It's like me, doesn't know which way to go.
I hear that there's a gala that's for a bamba. The plan out of area. Gala. There's a gala. Of course. And that's where we now.
Problem with tracking is let me talk about myself. I tend to concentrate too much on what's on the ground, and sometimes I might miss what's in the trees. The way the hyena were carrying on, it sounded like they could have been, see, it's not like they were on a kill, but it could have been that they were calling in reinforcements for whatever reason. And that sometimes happens when there's something else on a kill. No, that's lion. That's the lion from yesterday. No. Ephraim's going west. Morning, Jennifer. Looks like we're going to shake it all about now. Yes, definitely. Just need to find the right place to do so. Actually, if we go a little bit further, we get those dead trees. A little patch of orange. A little bit low, but this is where we get those dead trees sticking up in front of it this time of the year. Kenny Fowler complaining. Let's go. Excuse me. Can see my breath this morning. That's how cold it is. So you can't. I can. I don't think I've worn this many layers since about August. And it's only, well, it's not even May yet. Excuse me. Hyena, hyena, everywhere. Not a cat in sight. Excuse me. I even contemplated pulling out a scarf this morning. Is it Jim? Who's this? Juvenile Jim Najim? It might be why the guinea fowl are complaining. Nice following the bird there, dude. Might be. Let's go up there and see. Leopard tracks here, heading towards the lodge. There's a cat here somewhere. Those tracks are fresh. Very fresh. Let's see where these guinea fowl are. Binoculars. When I'm thinking there's a leopard close by, that's when I start seeing all sorts of shapes. I saw something in the grass, I was thinking, oh, that's his head, top of his head, but it's not. It's the top of a piece of wood. Disguised as a leopard. Yeah, guinea fowl up ahead of us. Around us. But they're underneath bushes. On the left here. Underneath bushes like that means that danger is coming from the sky. So I don't think they're complaining about a cat. Can't even see them. They're tucked in to this combretum next to us. No tracks here. That's probably that raptor that they're hiding from. quite early and cold for a raptor to be flapping around, but then somehow the African harrier hawk or gymnogene doesn't seem to use too much energy the way it has very heavy wing flaps. It doesn't seem to be too what's the word I'm looking for? Let's put it this way. It's obviously quite energy efficient because it's just the habits of that bird to fly around a lot. They don't glide, they don't hit thermals and soar as much as they flap from tree to tree. Even when they're in trees, they spend a lot of time flapping as they hold on to the side or underneath branches. Well, no, it looks like we might have some leopard tracks here too. Basically, there's a leopard walking around everywhere last night just to confuse us. Oh well, it's got a sunrise. One thing. Quickly stop before we get back down to the dam. The other thing is that there are impala everywhere, so that means that wherever there are impala, it's not likely to be where the leopard is. Try at the dam. First we need to find a spot to see that sun coming up quickly. That looks good. Very misty. The Hamerkop flying. Oh, we just missed that Hamerkop flying in front of us. We drove around quite extensively last night looking for a cat. Without luck. Tracks going in here. I wonder what was here. Sighting must have been a sighting. But it just goes to show he was around. We just didn't find him. Morning, Jason. Asking if it's quiet out. Normally quiet out in the morning. It seems rather quiet. I hope you. Well, I'm thinking you're referring to bird sounds and sounds rather than quiet, referring to not much activity. But Jason, this is a very cold morning compared to previous mornings, compared to our average temperatures. It has dropped considerably. Now, when things change when temperature changes this dramatically, it does change animal behavior, including birds, insects. It's all got a spin-off effect, because this cold weather means that there are fewer insects, which means that the birds are not active, birds and bats and things, and consequently, yes, it is very quiet this morning. We don't have that normal dawn chorus, but it's, I guess, a taste of what happens in winter. It gets pretty chilly. All the guinea fowl are now collected around the tree here near the lodge. I'm just looking for leopard tracks, nothing here. So I don't think we think we need to go down Twin Dams Road or something and have a look. But these guinea fowl are all now out in the open, now that that African harrier hawk juvenile has disappeared. They've stopped calling, and they're all exposed. Well, they've stopped alarming, let's put it that way. They're chatterboxes, guinea fowl, they're constantly chirping to each other. Youngsters are growing up amongst that flock. You can see some of the guinea fowl with just grey heads without the blue and red. And those are all the youngsters that were born now in summer, that hatched and are now almost adult. We are right in front of the lodge. And the other thing we're going to do now is just quickly have a look at the water, see if we can see what this crocodile's up to. Very cold, so Croc's going to be probably completely submerged with maybe only his eyes showing. A lot warmer for him in the water. Him or her. Him, I'm guessing. Probably warmer in the water than out. Now, I was told that last week on Thursday, this croc took an impala just somewhere here in front of us, which is in front of room 1. And then 2 days ago, I believe, it took another impala. Where? Oh, there, yes. Okay, not for sensitive viewers. But I just needed to have a look at this. Gee, that's going to start smelling. I wonder what we're going to be able to do about that, because get a southerly wind that's going to blow right into room 1. The crocodile needs to eat it, but the crocodile seems to be... No, it's been there a few days. One of the Nyala rams, Nyala bulls that we've seen in the past. There's an African jacana behind it. Excuse me. terrapin. There's just a little bit of movement in the water. Could be terrapins nibbling on it. Can you get close on that jacana, or have you?
On me?
Jacana, that bird. Lily trotter. Might be able to see those toes as it is lifting its feet to press down that vegetation. Probably got the longest toes of any creature. Okay. Oh, all the white-faced ducks taking off.
The croc in the water next to it.
Pardon? Oh, sorry. There's the culprit. Where about is that? Oh, there. I couldn't. Sorry, I'm not putting my head in the way. I can't see that. It's behind the Leonotus for me. I think this crocodile is just greedy. It's just catching more than it can eat. But then I guess it'll still eat it. Croc's not fussy about slightly off food. It'll probably feed during the day. Now that is probably out of line of sight of the camera, unfortunately. Thank you, Lex. Okay, off we go. Starling. Oh, we're going to try that. Good morning, Laura. Let me just try and level it off. It's not level, it must be level, but a beautiful shot. Maybe it's a little bit late already. It's a nice shot. This mist rising off of the water. Laura's asking, would the hyena not go for that carcass being so close to the edge? Actually, it's not that close to the edge, Laura. The Ludwigia, this floating plant, gives it the appearance that it's close to the edge, but it's probably in quite far. It's too far in for hyena, but the other part of it is, looks like that crocodile is guarding it, and that's why I was thinking it's going to be an awkward job. It's going to be an awkward thing for the lodge to deal with, because there's a likelihood that it's going to start smelling a little bit. The moment air movement, as you can see with this mist moving south, but our prevailing wind is from the south rather, and that's going to blow the smell into the lodge. And I guess it's going to be difficult to get that, to do something about that carcass with the crocodile sitting there. Right, let's continue down Tundam. See if maybe we can find some sign of little signs of leopard. With the number of hyena tracks around, I would imagine the hyenas have been eyeing it out already. See a leopard track. Leopard track's coming back this way now. Maybe we better go the other side of the dam. Didn't see those. Let's go a little further down Tundam Road because it looks like I drove over those tracks. Green Blue Murder. In fact, I'm sure even Induna's probably eyed out that carcass and drooled a little bit. We know he's not shy to nibble on a bit of old meat. When we had the buffalo killed here at the lodge, and some wonderful photographs of Induna feeding on the buffalo carcass a few days later. Cold morning like this, I would imagine a cat might be lying out somewhere in the open to get some sun. I'm guessing, imagine maybe. I guess we should have had a look on the other side of the dam. Henry's on Cheetah Cutline already. Hello, Wendy. Interesting question that doesn't have an answer. Wendy's saying that this crocodile seems quite successful. What is the crocodile's kill rate? Being a reptile, Wendy, especially now, this is one of the reasons why it's probably not feeding on that carpet. When the weather is cold, metabolism slows down a lot, so it doesn't digest food as fast as it does when it is warm. So there isn't really a kill rate. Crocodiles are opportunists. You could kill something and then it could go for a couple of months without feeding. So there isn't a routine to it. There's no regular, there's not something that we could put a routine to. Might go for a few months killing every week, and then it might go for a few months not killing at all. Actually, no, it's not likely to kill every week for a few months. I think that is extremely unusual. That, to my knowledge, 3 kills in a week. That's just being greedy. Crocodile can't digest that much food that fast. Maybe in the height of summer, yes, when it's very warm. But I don't even think its digestive system barely works in this cold, when it's cold like this. Why are you complaining, Franklin? Or even got you 2 crested Franklin and a Natal Franklin. And both of you need to leave the road, please. And just stand there and look at me. In the bush. In the bush. Thank you. 1 down. Now they're 2. Again. 3. And a dove. They're 4. You're just adding Franklins instead of subtracting. There we go, all gone. The doves, the Franklins, all the seed eaters have a lot more success feeding on open patches of ground, especially in early morning, late afternoons. And they use the same principle we do when we're looking at tracks, looking into a track to see the shadow, to be able to see definition. The tiniest of seeds throw that little bit of a shadow there, so that when these birds are feeding, they're actually walking into the sun mostly, looking into the sun to find seed. Fill up on seed early in the morning gives them time to do other things during the day. Feed on insects, grasses. That's when they start taking the seeds from the grass, from the inflorescence of the grass itself during the day. Sometimes see them jumping up to snatch seed off of the grass heads, or inflorescence as it's called. Big elephant was here. He's being quite elusive, this bull. around looking for him today. Looks like he's gone that way. He's stationed at a PC car. There you go again. No, not copying too well there from go again. Okay, thanks. Anything else been picked up? Sorry, Henry. Please repeat that. Alright, copy that. Thanks. Mamba Road, Chillicotlan. Giraffe's a bit shy. He's hiding from us. Big bull. Somebody did that, I don't know. Whoa. That's going to be nice. If he stays there, it'll look quite nice. Morning light. Morning, Squire. Gee, he's a big bull, this. Looks like he's a bit nervous. Now that the sun is coming up, we're starting to get a bit of a dawn chorus. Starting to come alive. And he's gone. Beautiful sky. Not much color, but and of course we didn't get to see the moon because of this cloud, but interesting shape. Interesting texture of clouds. Whoa. Again. Quite get on the radio whether the hyena den is active or not, but we'll go and have a look. I'm thinking if Henry was there earlier and that wasn't active because they were still tucked inside the den. With the sun coming up, might be lucky enough to find them outside. I hope. Problem is the hyena tracks everywhere leading away from the den. I'm not seeing very much going back to the den. 2 nights running now of an hyena at my door. Don't know what he's looking for. She. Morning, Linda. Thanks for the question. And yes, as I was saying about the crocodile, Linda's saying, I guess pretty much what I was saying, that crocodile's not eating as much because the colder weather slowed down its metabolism to the point where it isn't digesting properly, so it needs the sun to warm itself up and to help digest its food. But it is also eating too much. Or rather killing too much. If it had an impala last week and an impala on Wednesday, I'm just wondering if the people who saw it take the nyala maybe didn't think that it was a nyala. Or rather the nyala was an impala. And maybe, because that kind of ties in with how old that carcass is looking. I can't imagine it took an impala and an nyala. But even so, the impala from last week should still be sufficient for the next couple of months. Where the big giraffe came from, his tracks are in the road here. I don't know where these parents are for these 4 little francolins. Francolins. See if I can get past. I know this is going to be a bit different, this road, but see if I can get past. Because they're little ones are just running further and further away from the mother. And they're screaming. Well, not screaming, but calling for her. Deborah. I don't know. I can't really put this question into context. I'm not sure. What is the number of other hyena and cats in the area, and would a cheetah stand a chance? There are cheetah, Deborah, and there isn't really a fixed number of animals. I mean, gosh, I'd love to answer these kind of questions, but I don't quite understand the context, because I don't know whether we're talking about just the Djuma area or the whole Kruger area. Hello, little hyena. I wonder, maybe we better go around the other side. I think the little ones might be around the other side. Been stalking us as we came in. I mean, here, you see, when it comes to territories and home ranges and things, yes, you do have a fixed, to some degree, you have a fixed number of individuals, especially like leopard. I mean, I don't think we've seen a strange leopard here at all. I'll stop and have a look from this side first. Hyena, I really don't know the number of hyena, but we've pretty much only got this clan in this immediate area of Djuma, but there are other clans of hyena bordering on their territories and I have no clue as to those numbers. In fact, I don't really know the numbers of things outside of the small 1,000 hectares of Djuma, other than guessing when I think about the names of the leopards that they talk about. And of course, cheetah, not being that territorial, cheetah will cover home ranges, but they don't have fixed territory as such. And they move over fairly large distances. Also, the cheetah have a very, very particular habitat preference, which we don't have. So we only get cheetah moving through here. And when we do have cheetah, I think the longest we've had cheetah here for is a day. Sometimes we have cheetah on this property for 10 minutes as they move through. If you have an area that has fixed boundaries and boundaries, I mean fences and an enclosed area, you can keep track of the numbers of your predators. You can keep track of numbers of things because it's a self-contained area. We're in a national park. I mean, we're in an area that is several million hectares, double that for the millions of acres that occur here, that there are here, and there is animal movement all the time. I don't know if that's managed to. I hope it's answered your question somewhat. I'm not seeing little ones, but that might be because it's cold. I don't see the big matriarch floppy here. I don't know who this is that's lying looking at us. That's not the mother of the last set of cubs. Just looking at another individual that's just come back from its patrol. Coming around this side now. She looks like she's lactating. Next, I think, is probably one of her youngsters. Gone behind the tree to do a bit of socializing. Can't see it. Unfortunately, our gap is relatively narrow, but she's got an itch at the base of the tail and she can't quite reach it. There's Floppy, yeah. They calling down the mouth of that other, that other den, the other entrance. And if they want to bring the youngsters out. Hello, little one. Come, let me take that tick off your ear. Oops. No, right in front of the car, can't even see it. think we should move on. Here's a good little one. Still fluffy, looks quite clean. Bye. Let's just stop this side, because some of them are lying in the sun on this side of the den. I think the might have some youngsters come up to us. So, yeah. Warming up a bit in the sun. I think we're going to see the little ones today. I've got this little one. Asking for milk. Jason wants to know if the hyenas are friendly or they're dangerous. Jason, I'd never really used the word friendly. He's a wild hyena. They are potentially dangerous. Hyena are probably one of the best hunters here in the African bush. Perhaps one of the most efficient of the hunters. Certainly got one of the strongest jaws in nature. They can be quite timid. I mean, I don't think that they would attack if I got out of the vehicle. And the attacks that have occurred on people have been on people sleeping. But they are potentially quite dangerous. They're predators. They have got big teeth. They're very strong animals. They're used to us, which allows us to sit here like this, and even these two youngsters, which are not that old, I think they're even a year yet. Jason, they're not. I mean, they're not scared of the car. They're actually approaching the car, and so it's not really the size of the car keeping them at bay. There's no need. They're doing what hyena do. They're actually disinterested. If anything, they do show a bit of interest, and they come up to the vehicle to have a look and they sniff. We've had them biting on tires and bumpers and biting on bits of plastic and rubber that stick out from the vehicle. But generally, the older ones getting a bit irritable with these youngsters now. Generally, they ignore us. Generally, the vehicle is of no consequence to them. They know it's not food. They would be wary of it if I had to drive towards them. Yes, they would move out of the way. They might run. But sitting here like this, they, if anything, accept us being here. The youngsters are a little curious. As you can see, they come up to us and they have a look. But this is how animals are, where there have been safaris for a long time. All these animals are born to the vehicles, so they're born to the fact that these vehicles might be a bit of a nuisance at times, but they're neither food nor danger. The vehicles never chase them, so they never grow up learning to run away from the vehicles. There's no hunting here. There's no aggression or negative emotion shown towards the animals. So they become quite relaxed in our presence. And that's the beauty of it, and that's why what makes this so special is that we're able to watch these animals engaging in their natural behavior, even though we're sitting 5 feet away from them. Someone's going to get hurt in a minute. Somebody's going to bite a little bit hard. An older youngster that's standing up. Maybe a 2-year-old.
Another part of Jason's question was, do you hike up to them?
Another question from Jason, or part of that question was, could we hike up to them as a group on foot? Excuse me, thank you. We would be able to hike up to a point, Jason. We'd be able to get to a point where maybe we'd be able to watch them from a distance. But they would scatter. As a group of people, they would scatter. Some of them probably go down into the den. They'd probably run. They are wary of humans. They know what humans are. And while they might see us as humans in the vehicle, the overall behavior of the vehicle is what governs their behavior when we're with them in a vehicle. When you're on foot, it's an entirely different story. With all animals, even animals that are not potentially dangerous. With Impala, we can get within feet of them in the vehicle, and as soon as you stand outside the vehicle, they run away. And that is because as humans we are different. As humans, our behavior over the last couple of million years is sort of embedded in their memories as something to be wary of, something to be afraid of. For a lot of animals, attack is the best form of defense, and if we had to come close to this den, it's possible that you might get some anger out of some of the females because of the cubs that are inside. She's lactating also. We're getting less and less active, I think, as the morning wears on. So I think we'll move on. Let's go and see what we can find. I think I'll go up Zoe's Road, do a loop back around to Quarantine, go back to the dam. I'm still convinced there's a leopard around. The leopard's going to want to be in the sun, maybe. I'm hoping. Bye, children. For some reason they scattered there. Ran away and came back. Probably just the starting of the car that startled them. Genevieve, morning. What was the little black bird running in front of my car? Well, I guess it appeared black. I'm not too sure which one you're referring to, Jennifer. There have been several this morning. All of them have been francolins. And we will be seeing a lot of them in the road in front of us, as they are now. Anne wants to know why they try to outrun us. They don't try to outrun us, Anne and Genevieve. What it is, see, as long as if I stop, they might move out of the road. They're in the road to feed because it's open. It's not because it's a road, but because it's open. The grasses are wet. They're feeding on grass seed. And it's far easier to find grass seed on an open patch of ground than in amongst the very, very thick grasses, apart from it being cold and wet at the moment. It's not that they're trying to outrun us. We're a big vehicle. They're actually trying to run away from us more than anything else. And if instead of running into the grasses, they choose to run along the open because they'd rather see where the danger is coming from rather than running into the grasses and possibly being caught by something. Good morning all. Who wants to know average number of babies a hyena will have at once? I don't know, Bill. I think 3 or 4 average. 2 average. They can have 3 or 4. Maybe 2 is average. 2 or 3. I want to check tracks. I'm going to have a look at tracks quickly. I was seeing some toe marks. I think it's from those young hyena. I think they're exciting. Does. Prairie doves again. They're just flying up and landing up ahead. Try a tree. Landing it there. Looks like they're off. They're flying over to Zoe's Road now. Find them on Zoe's Road. Doves like Franklin, seed eaters, doing the same thing. Feeding on seed in the sand and in the road. Morning, Ellen. This is Ellen in Decatur in Illinois. Wonder. Ellen wants to know if hyena or lion are likely to eat the crocodile. I think they'd have to get it first, Ellen. I think this one's a bit too big for lion or hyena to tackle. They'd certainly eat it. They'd try and get to a small one, maybe. They are rather wary of crocodiles. And I wouldn't say it would be a normal thing for them to eat a crocodile. But they've got to get hold of the crocodile first. Crocodiles are pretty agile, pretty fast. As well as the fact that they can defend themselves pretty well. I mean, not from both ends, tail and mouth. You know, they've got a pretty strong bite themselves, crocodiles, and they whip their tail at quite a rate. But I've known leopard even to take a baby, well not a baby, but a young crocodile. Take on a young crocodile. Of course, hatchling crocodiles is a different matter. They're just lizards with big teeth, and a lot of things eat them. But the crocodile that we have at Gowrie Dam is a little bit too big, I would say, to be taken on by one of the other land predators. Giraffe. Mrs. Giraffe. Morning. Oh, it's you who lost your tail. We've seen her before. Lost the end of her tail. Possibly in a lion attack or some other, maybe hyena attack even. That's a piece of bone. Or if it's a tissue that a human has dropped. I hope this doesn't disturb the giraffe. Relax, woman. My fault she moved off. I picked up a piece of tissue on the ground. Humans can be disrespectful, dropping papers and things. Move a little, see if we can get a little further forward for her. Now that it's open, she'll probably let us watch her from here. She's looking behind the vehicle to see where the human is. I'm here. I'm here. No longer on foot. No longer a threat. So as soon as she saw me behind the vehicle, picking up something, she ran off. But giraffe have the safety zone. They have this distance that they feel comfortable with things, no matter what it is. When it comes to us humans, that distance varies according to the visibility. It's different, of course, with the vehicle. Is she going to drink? It's different, of course, with the visibility. When it's open like this, they feel a lot more comfortable. And if we were on foot, I'm going to, a little pan there, just a little bowl of water that's collected over the rainy season. Obviously a warthog or something that wallows there and takes a bit of mud away and makes it bigger. She looks like she's been lactating too. And I'm trying to think, did we see her with a calf? Can't remember if she had a calf the last time we saw her. Or maybe it's because she's about to. Doesn't look too pregnant. But on foot, if it was open like this, you'd be able to see how you can get to within a certain distance of a giraffe, and then if you took a few steps forward, they'd take a few steps back, and they would keep that distance, that they feel safe enough, and they feel confident that they can run away if you make a move towards them. Some giraffes bend their front legs to get down, some giraffes spread them wide. She's doing a bit of both. Her right leg stretched out, her left leg bent a little bit at the wrist. What looks like a front knee is actually her wrist. she's feeding on the tambuti tree, which for us would be quite poisonous, quite toxic, dangerous. Even one leaf, even the milk from, it's got a white milky latex. If you break a leaf and you get a drop of that milk on your finger and you get that is enough to upset the stomach. If she's able to feed on it. If we had even a drop of that milk in our eye, that latex would probably blind us. And she's able to put her head in there. It's also a little bit acidic, that milk, the latex of the tambuti. Doesn't seem to affect giraffe at all. And kudu, elephant. That's the antenna at the back of the vehicle we're seeing in front of it. Bye-bye, Mrs. G. Pardon? No. Then I was just asking, are a lot of these plants toxic to us? And the answer is no, not really. And we take a plant like, well, let's look at all the plants that have thorns and spines. Move into the grass, Franklin. See if I stop. The rest of its family have run into the grass. Let's see if she does. think if you had to think of plants that are palatable for us, we'd have to look at the plants that have spines and thorns, the plants that have a physical defense. When you look at something like this, this is the African wattle. Lovely, soft, very, very soft leaf. No thorns, no spines. In other words, it doesn't have a physical defense the way the acacias and some of the other spiny plants have. So this automatically tells us that it has a relatively high tannin level within the leaf, which makes it very bitter. It's not necessarily toxic, but makes it very, very bitter. And it's something that we wouldn't be able to eat. When we look at something like this, which is the buffalo thorn, lovely shiny leaves, but that doesn't mean anything. The thorns on the buffalo thorn give us an indication that it has developed a physical defense because it has been utilized in the past couple of million years, and it has evolved this physical defense as a result of animals eating it, not necessarily humans. I wouldn't be surprised if humans used to feed on it. I pick a leaf every now and then to chew on it. It's not a strict rule. There are and there will be exceptions, especially as far as humans are concerned. Plant alkaloids can be very toxic to us humans, whereas they're not for some animals. When we look at something like the bush willows, also no thorns or spines, yet a lot of animals browse on the bush willow. There's a bush willow to our left. It wouldn't be toxic, but it would be very bitter. Not necessarily high tannin levels, but just they're not very nutritious leaves for us. Take another leaf like the silver cluster leaf. It's a little bit velvety, very high in tannin, doesn't need thorns and spines. I think if one has to maybe, I don't say make a rule, but if you had to sum it up, you could say that if it has a milky latex, leave it alone. A milky sap, white milky sap. If it has that, then there's a strong possibility that it is poisonous. There is a group of plants known as the euphorbias. Some of you might know one of the euphorbias that has become a very popular garden plant, the poinsettia. Very pretty, very attractive, showy, different colors on the leaves. That is the euphorbia family. The euphorbias are not all succulent type plants. They don't all grow like some of the candelabra trees. There's some fresh elephant tracks. We don't have any euphorbias here, unfortunately. We do have one type. We have the pencil euphorbia, which grows like a big creeper. But the lovely big candelabra trees we don't have, unfortunately. I'll be able to show you. It's looking like quite fresh elephant tracks. And fresh leopard tracks. I think that's Karula and the cubs, because there's some very small leopard tracks here. We're going to turn around. I just want to go down towards Gowrie Main. I should have done that when we were with, except that giraffe distracted me. I'm going to turn around very easily here. I could have chosen a better place. A bit late now, perhaps. There weren't tracks where the giraffe was, so I'm guessing that she might have cut through and gone on to Triple M. I don't know, we'll see what kind of a signal we get when we get to the junction of Triple M with Gowrie Main. So it's going to speed it up a little bit. So let me just look here, because this is a likely spot where she could have turned off. I did hear, when we were with that giraffe, I did hear francolins shouting. I did hear some birds making a noise towards Gary Main. And I guess I got a little distracted and forgot about it. But there's a little area here where there's a strong possibility where this cat is with her cubs. Excuse me, children. Very doves. Looks like she might have left the road and gone towards Triple M. No, still tracks here. I sat with that giraffe for a while when we could have been. Maybe she's lying down somewhere on the road. Please be here somewhere, Karula. Please, please. Pretty please. I'm just going to look for tracks quickly. Did you hear that? Probably not with the machine. Well, it sounded like a child crying, but I'm thinking it was likely a duiker being killed in here. And unfortunately we can't go look for it. But her tracks cross over here, but then a little bit further up in the road they come back across onto our side. Franklin has just been frightened behind us. I'm going to wait for this vehicle to arrive. I want to talk to them. Because I'm in two minds. I'm half of mine thinking that she's actually crossed over here and she's turned around and she's come back onto our side. But then hearing what I've just heard on the other side of the road makes me think that a leopard has just killed a duiker on just south of us. Oh, so she's on Triple M? Yeah. Alright, I'll go back there.
Who's Patrick?
Prince Charles.
Come in.
Yeah. More than a month now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of people.
Oh, God.
Bye. Oh well, that settles that then. She's somewhere on Triple M. Don't know if we'll get to... There's definitely something been killed in here. So she's been here. I guess these tracks are not as fresh as I thought. We will take Zoe's Road once more and head up to Impala Plains Triple M. I think we might get a chance to see her. Deborah wants to know if anybody has ever seen a giraffe swim. Do they swim? No, they don't, Deborah. To my knowledge, I should say that I'm always open to correction. My knowledge is based on living in the bush and observing things. A lot of my knowledge comes from books too, but I've lived in many different national parks, game reserves. I've always lived around water. In the Okavango, giraffe are known to maybe cross floodplains. Most giraffes that I know of are wary of water. And I think it would have to be extreme for giraffe to walk through water. And here are these two Franklins again. Off the road, please, children. See, they hear a vehicle coming, they run onto the road because they want to see danger. They don't want to be sitting in the grass. Danger is likely to get them. So, just getting back to Deborah's question. Giraffe cannot swim. I think Well, partly because the weight of their body would get their lungs too deep underwater, and the compression of the lungs. I mean, if you had to go even 2 feet underwater and try and breathe through a pipe, it would almost be impossible, because the pressure on your lungs makes it impossible for you to expand your lungs, makes it impossible for you to breathe in. That is why divers who are tethered to a surface line, not divers who have aqua lungs or scuba gear, but divers who are breathing through a pipe that has to be compressed air because your lungs are compressed. And if the only way a giraffe would be able to swim would be if its body stays afloat and its head was up, almost like Loch Ness Monster type thing. I don't think that would happen. I think the weight of a giraffe, its body would be much further below the surface, I'm guessing, and it would be pretty difficult for a giraffe to breathe, first of all. It would be pretty difficult for a giraffe to maintain an upright position. Giraffes drown very easily, as far as I know. In incidents where giraffe have been translocated from one place to another, and they are so stressed out from the relocation program, been known for giraffe to just under those stressful conditions just run away from the game capture or the release program, or when they're being released, run into water and drown. So my answer would be no, giraffe don't swim. I have never seen giraffe in water. Nice big elephant bull, somewhere not too far ahead of us. Any station with Karula? Copy, thanks Lex. I just heard from one of the Simbambili guys that she's just crossed Triple M near One-Eyed Pan. I will do. I'm approaching Impala Plains at the moment. I'll let you know. Has there been any chatter on this channel about her? Okay, thanks. So, our big male leopard who we were driving around looking for, who we gave up on, and we did, is actually, well, I don't know why we didn't see him, but he's there in front of room 1. He's probably sniffing at that Nyala carcass in the water and drooling. And it's Yambila Jordan. I knew it was a big male. Yambila Jordan is there. We're going to end up going home. We'll end up maybe trying to go that way. For now, however, I want to see if we can get to see Karula. This big elephant bull, his tracks are still in the road. Hi there, Caleb. Okay, elephant has headed straight down Zoe's road. We are going to Triple M, and I'm going to pre-warn you that we will possibly lose a bit of signal. But I'm going to try my best, because I know a lot of you, I want to as well. A lot of you want to see Karula and the cubs. I'm really looking forward to maybe trying to get to see her, if there's anyone there. Those lionesses moved off of the road. Lion tracks and leopard. Yambila Jordan came from here, but we cut through the bush with those lions. So it's not. Maybe it's other sticks. Maybe we ought to do Impala Road if she's come through from that side. Maybe if we do Impala to Sandy Patch, maybe we might find her rather than going on to Triple M, because she's evidently come across onto the side already. Any Eastern Stations copy? Fortunate that the radio is so bad. Any Simbambili stations copy who are with Karula? Wildebeest. Lion, that's from 2 nights ago, the lion, no doubt. Is there any station still with Karula? Okay, first thing we do is we look at Triple M. Okay? I believe she crossed over this side at One Eye Pan. I don't know where One Eye Pan is. I'm not copying you. Possible radios. I'm guessing One Eye Pan is up towards the gate here. Because I was talking with the other day, and it was also, they were talking about close to where those lion killed that buffalo that time. I know a particular spot where that buffalo was. I did manage to get some signal. I'm not seeing any vehicles up that way. Look at the cement tracks here. She's been all over the place, this cat. Track T. Ephraim, come in. Okay, I'm copying you now. I believe she crossed onto the Western Gari. I think so. Is One Eye Pan close to the gate where those Ngala bumbered that Nyari? Ephraim, is One Eye Pan close to the gate where those Ngala bumbered that Nyari that time? Not okay, copying. It's a question I'm asking you. I'm seeing a vehicle way up ahead. Ephraim, come in. Ephraim, where is One Eye Pan, please?
I can see him there from the gate, south of the gate.
Copy, thank you. Which will be where that vehicle is, up there. And it'll be a little bit far from Impala Road. Gosh, got lion tracks that came on the property, and leopard and Karula's tracks here, same place. Is any station still with Karula? That vehicle's turned around and gone off, so I'm guessing she's moved in from there. Well, we can try. We can go up towards... Let's just go up that way. There'll be a couple of dips, we're going to lose signal. But it is on a bit of a ridge, so there's a good chance we'll get signal up there. That's where those lions did kill that buffalo that time. So please be patient. Let's see what we can do. Shows how confusing it is. Even here I'm looking at tracks going on Zoe's road looked so I was convinced she was there. It is rather strange. I don't know if you're with us. Hold my commentary to get to a signal area. What I had a question earlier. I don't know if actually let me hold off on that. This would be One-Eyed Pan Road, I guess, where there's a lot of activity. Tracks going in here. She might have gone in here. Take a look. Problem is, could be anywhere here. not a worry. It's a good area for a cat because it's likely to be shorter grasses. It also makes it more difficult to see anything. Let's try this animal path. Such hard ground, I can't see any tracks. Craig, if you can just confirm that we got a signal. Okay, so we're good for now. Breaking up a little bit, but we're good. Okay, well, Vuyatela access road is just ahead of us. I know this plan. Freshly pushed over trees. Vuyatela access road, see if she didn't come to the road. And then we'll nothing here. Somebody's already been off the road here. Rhino tracks. Also been elephant here recently. And we're going to just try another shot at taking a drive through this area, off-road. Hidden trees, tree stumps, logs. Okay, I think you know how they talk about needle in the haystack? I think that would be easier. Without a general idea of where she crossed and which direction she was. I mean, they said she crossed over to this side, but very large area to cover. There's a buffalo skull here. The lion. There's been a lion kill that I didn't even know about. None of us, I don't think any of us knew about it. Could have actually. This could have been that buffalo. Just Triple Line. We are close, and Triple M is right here. Could have been that lion kill. Okay, I think we're going to have to get back to our signal range. Oh, there's an house. Oh. Well, when the sun comes out, it comes out with a vengeance. But now with the sun coming out and making it hot like this, I'm mainly looking at patches of ground like this on my right where it's a little bit open and there's shade. Elephant tracks here on this pathway. Deborah, if you can hear me, this is a piece of guarri. This is all guarri around us. Very, very hardy leaves. I've got flies bugging me at the moment, and I'm concentrating on things, and I'm using it just as a fly switch. We did come through here already, but. Oh well. It was worth a try. I mean, who knows? It could have bumped into her, and it was a 50-50 chance that we would. Sorry, Tamboti. 50-50 chance that we might see her. Somebody else has been here. unfortunately, radio doesn't work here to know whether there is someone here or not. Ephraim coming. Other players on that side. So far good. Well, if she was maybe if she was moving at an angle, she might be on Impala Road, Sandy Patch. Sandy Patch is just ahead of us. Zebra! Haven't seen zebra for a few days. A little bit too relaxed for a leopard to be in their area, in their vicinity. Zebra and impala. So I doubt whether she's come this way. See, we need tails. That's why I picked this branch. Excuse me, I need a tail. All of a sudden today there are lots of flyers. Zebra are finding it as well. Just move a little bit. Here from Henry. I think this is Henry. Or is it Ephraim maybe? It's Cheetah Plains, Abel. We'll hear from Abel, because his radio will be able to pick things up better. Morning, morning. How's it? Wait, who's with her?
Ephraim and Let's.
They with her now?
Yeah. East of us is the...
Oh, so she's crossed here already. I thought so.
Yeah.
I'm looking around here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right here.
I wanted to talk to him. Well, that makes 3 vehicles. She's already gone to Sydney's Dam. I wonder I can't find her. Well,
Sydney's Dam not in that area.
no, not in our area. Ephraim and
Find Emilio.
Emilio Jordan. Well, he was down at the lodge somewhere. We can try and go and get to him. And all the time we've been driving around in the bush, they've actually already found. It's amazing. I mean, these guys, miles and miles away. It's amazing how they get here as fast as they do. Oh boy. Hey, we arrived here first, and those guys got here. In the time we've been looking, they got here, found her, and have crossed onto Sydney's Dam already with her. Unbelievable. Lovely big male giraffe in the road. Huh? Where we were looking is where she came across. When we came out onto Vertella Access Road and I got out and had a look, there were tracks going off. But the way she's been walking around, I wasn't sure if they were from now, because there are tyre tracks on top of it. But they're tyre tracks of another vehicle that came out of the bush and then went around where Abel's gone, up towards the gate and around to Sydney's Dam. So, in the time that it took us to get from Impala Plains along Triple M, those guys had come down this way and had found her, and of course just without radio contact, just don't know these things. Beautiful big giraffe. Gosh, look how dark he is. I'm slapping myself in the face with this branch because just because there's so many flies around. And one thing I can't handle, I can handle any insect on my face except a fly. I don't know why. It's just the way it tickles. Other insects don't tickle like that. Well, thank you, Mr. G. We can try and get down to the. I don't know how. When we get further on, I'll try and contact Lex and see. Excuse us, Mr. G. We're just moving on. I'm gonna go and have a look to see if we can see Emilio Jordan. Since we're trying to find him early this morning. At least if I can get to see him, maybe. Let's just try and catch up with the guys. Should be in radio touch by now. No, nothing. Now it starts. Still can't hear a thing. Big sigh. Abel, come in. Abel, come in. Did she cross Buffelshoek cut line? Is she in Buffelshoek? Okay, thanks. And do you know what happened to Yambilu Yadan? Lex, come in. Lex, where did you leave that Ingwe, please? Okay, copy. Did you come in from Mvubu Road? Alright, thanks a lot. Hyena vomit with impala hooves. No. No, I don't think we'll film that. I think there's hyena killing impala at night almost. Well, we can try. We know Yambilu Yadan is not the type of leopard that sits around much and waits for us to come and view him. Where are we? If we have much time to do that. Hello, Drongo. Lots to say. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. I don't think I should, just because we're going to just try and sneak past the lodge. So for now, I meant to look to see if Zoe's road had been dragged. I've been dragging the tyres lately. But we're just going to take the road that we're not supposed to. Only because, well, I guess I break rules from time to time. Just so we can get to the dam quicker. Not something we do often. Past the back of the lodge. I suppose if we sometimes in the front of the lodge, it's not the end of the world. We just sneak past the back quickly. Because I want to get to the other side of the dam before we have to go home. Pardon? It is a great shortcut, yeah, but we're not really supposed to do it. I see Spike the croc is out of the water, warming up, get his stomach working, his stomach juices going, digesting some of the antelope he's been eating so that he can make room for some nyala that's busy cooking in the water. She's on the move, Karula. She's well into Buffelshoek by the sounds of things, near Gallagher Camp. I've never been there in the 2 years I've been here. I need to actually take a drive there one of these days. Or rather, go with one of the Juma vehicles. I don't think I'd be allowed to go there with my vehicle. Well, not I don't think, I know I won't be allowed to go there with my vehicle. But I said to the guys at Vuitella the other day, I must join them for a drive so that I can see all these places when they're talking about places that I hear all the time. I hear the names all the time because they often have sightings in Buffelshoek and Torchwood, all these places that they talk about. And to a large extent, I just can't picture them in my mind. My brain just doesn't absorb it for some reason. It just doesn't absorb it. I don't know where it is. I think it's online somewhere. But there is a map, a larger map of Juma that includes some of Buffelshoek and some of Torchwood. But gee, I can't remember. Yeah, I find a new flower, I look it up in the book, I retain the name, I can remember the name. But there are some things that I just can't retain, and that is looking at a map, and I can, and in my mind's eye, I can sort of picture Longpole, the road that runs, I think it runs east-west, parallel to Buffelshoek cut line inside Buffelshoek. I sort of know where first and second rock is on Torchwood, but it's so much better if you go to these places and you actually see them. Then when they say we've got an animal moving in a particular direction from a particular place, hopefully I can get some idea. Like this morning, I knew one-eyed pan was somewhere, but if you had to ask me whether it was on Biffles or Torchwood, Arathusa or Simbambili, I wouldn't have been able to tell you. So we're going down towards the rooms. See if we can see Yambulu Yodan in these last minutes of our drive. It would please me no end if we got a glimpse of him after we've been running around almost like a kid in a candy shop today. End up with nothing. Big buffalo here. And that buffalo has been here since Lex was here. I'm not seeing vehicle tracks yet. Lex to have been here. I don't know where he came in from. This can get a bit tricky. It's dry enough. No tracks in the sand. Franklin. Must be quite exciting for guests to have the likes of a leopard right in front of camp, or in camp even. This is so dense we could have even driven past him already. It's a really nice spot for a leopard fly. It's getting a bit too hot for him to maybe be in the sun. Perfect spot for a leopard. On this open patch of sand. I'm not seeing any tracks here. Starting to smell that nyala already. Tire tracks there. Hello, Hornbill. Where's the leopard? now we're going to get into the edge of the dam. This is room 3. Bit muddy to go forward, we'll have to turn around. The water's receded because the water was backed up all the way almost to room 8 before. Hello Christopher, wanting to see some wild edibles. Most of the wild edibles for us are over. It's mostly summer that you get the wild edibles. Fruits and berries and things. But sure, Christopher, if we see something, there's still some wild cucumbers about. Around this Jackleberry. I guess not. Well, should maybe at least get a few points for trying, but no sign of the father of all the cubs, Yambilu Yodan. Can be a bit of a shy leopard. An elephant here. So I thought maybe just in these last moments of a drive we might get lucky, but it is not to be. going to have to say goodbye for now, at any rate. And say goodbye to you for now. Been an interesting morning. Lots of tracks, but unfortunately the tracks don't always pan out, and okay, it can be a little disappointing perhaps, but we've always got the afternoon, and tomorrow's another day, and these animals are around. Nice to know that Karula's changing position a little bit. She's probably looking for a different area to utilize for a while, and she will be doing this as the cubs grow up. She'll be spending time in one area and then another, and well, we'll hear from the guys when they get back what happened. My name is Mark. Daniel has been on camera. Craig in final control. This has been Wild Earth Safari here at Djuma Game Reserve. I hope you've enjoyed it. Bye for now.